In this age of digital enlightenment, people have become much more open to things that were once considered scary, mysterious, or just plain icky. That's nice and all. But if that same internet has taught us anything, it's that there's still a lot of nightmare fuel out there. And thanks to the information superhighway, we can bask in that terror like never before. One particularly disturbing trend I noticed was the number of cases where people are finding all kinds of creepy crawly things taking up residence in their various orifices. I say number of cases even though this is still a mercifully rare occurrence because the optimal number of cases should be 0. Prepare yourselves, guys, because I've come across some stories that will make your skin crawl, which is appropriate because this chat is about things crawling on your skin and into your face holes. Let's get the mega awful one out of the way first, and considering the subject matter, that's saying a lot. How mega awful, you ask? As the story goes, some poor lady in Taiwan who went to the doctor thinking she had an eye infection instead found she had something beyond belief. Because it was bees, you guys. Bees! And yes, that's plural, because it was multiple bees. 4 of them. In her eye. How is that even possible, you ask, with tears streaming down your cheek? Well, stop crying immediately, because that's exactly what got this lady an eye full of bees. So according to the news report, the bees in question were these little guys. They're called sweat bees because, get this, they're attracted to human sweat. Actually, they live off nectar like most normal bees, but apparently they like to supplement their diet with salt. So it's specifically the salt in sweat that they're after. This lady in Taiwan was visiting a family gravesite when she somehow managed to get bees in her eye. But the implications of this particular part of the story are even worse, because the only salty, sweat-like thing coming from our eyes are tears. And being that she was at a gravesite at the time, well, that makes sense. So this poor lady, apparently weeping in grief, attracted a horde of bees into her eyes by her tears. Think about that, guys. These things literally feed on your tears. How's that for some eldritch horror, eh? The upturn is that the doctor was able to get these tear-sucking monstrosities out of the woman's eye with no issues. They were still alive, by the way. Good luck sleeping at night thinking about that. The hospital claimed this case was a world first. Let's just hope it stays a world only. The freakiest part, though? Sweat bees actually have a stinger. According to the research I did, this particular type of bee isn't likely to actually use it unless disturbed. But what's more disturbing than being trapped in someone's eye, right? These bees are also really tiny, obviously, if they can get into someone's eye. And the sting is supposedly very mild, but I'm guessing that's in relation to a sting on your skin, not in your freaking eye. The doctor theorized that the only reason these things didn't sting her is because this lady had enough of an iron will not to rub at her eye during the whole ordeal. With bees squirming around in it. She's basically a superhero. Side note, apparently only the female of the species is likely to sting. Guess that's something sweat bees and people have in common, am I right, guys? Moving on. So, remember when I said earlier that these sorts of cases are mercifully rare? Well, I kinda lied to spare your sanity. The eye thing might be considered a world first, but ears, that's another story. For another video! Yeah, so stay tuned for part 2, right? I promise not to make these gross-out chats a regular thing. This was just the first of many, many topics to discuss, so hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next chat.